Davey, and today I thought we could do a special activity together. We're going to do some baking. Now let's have a look at what we're going to need. So these are our ingredients that we're going to need. We're going to need 100 grams of butter, 2 eggs, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 100 grams of caster sugar, 100 grams of self-raising flour, 150 grams of icing sugar, some water and some sprinkles to put on top of our cakes. Now let's take a look at what this looks like. So over here we have our flour, over here we have some butter, some vanilla extract, the icing sugar, got our eggs, and I've not quite weighed out our caster sugar because I thought I'd show you how to do it using my scales. So I thought we'd do that together. I've got some different things that we could put on top. So I've got some sprinkles and some chocolate hearts, and then we just need our cake cases. So let's see what equipment we might need. So the equipment I'm going to use today is the cupcake tray, a teaspoon to measure out the vanilla extract, a cooling wire tray, my bowl, my scales, and you can either use a spatula or a spoon to mix together, or an electric whisk. So I was going to show you how I measure my ingredients using my scales. So let's get a bowl and our sugar and some scales, and I'll show you how to do this. So I have my scales here, my sugar and a bowl. So I'm going to put my bowl on the scales and then turn it on. I'm going to make sure it says grams and then 0. And we need 100 grams of caster sugar. So I need this 0 to become 100. So I'm going to pour my sugar in and see the number changes. So now it's at 47. So let's make it go all the way. Oh, I've gone past 100. Now let's think, how can I make this better to be 100? I need to take away 15 grams. So I'm going to use a spoon and I'm going to scoop out 15 grams. Here it says 108, 101, and I need a tiny bit, another tiny bit, 100 grams of caster sugar. So now we have all our ingredients, we can get baking. I'm going to show you what to do first. So to start with, we need to wash our hands and we need to put an apron on to make sure we don't make any mess. And just like that, I have an apron on. Magic! So I have washed my hands, I have my apron on, and now I need to preheat my oven to make sure our cakes cook. So if you have a fan assisted oven, you need to put your oven to 150 Celsius, and if not, it's 170 Celsius. But make sure an adult does this for you. Now while we let that preheat, we're going to put together our sugar and our butter. So let's have a go. Right, so to start, we're going to have our bowl. We're going to pour our sugar into the bowl. And then we're going to pour our, make sure we get all our sugar. Ready? Scoop it out. Pop it in. There we go. And then next we're going to add our butter. There we go. Now we need to cream together our butter like this, so that all the butter and sugar mix together. And this is what creamed butter and sugar should look like. Next, we're going to add in our eggs. Now we're going to do one at a time. Ready? So be careful. Crack our eggs, pull it apart, and pop it in. Now, I've got a little bit of shell in there, and we don't want that. So I'm going to use a spoon to scoop scoop it out. It can be a little tricky sometimes. That's one bit. Two bits. Now, I can get the shell off of this now, like that. One bit of shell. Two bits of shell. Now, I'm gonna go wash my hands now so that I don't have any egg on. So now my hands are nice and clean again, I'm gonna mix this egg together with our butter and sugar. Now, let's do our next egg. Again, mix together. It doesn't look very nice right now, but when we add our flour, it will start to look like a cake mix. So let's begin to add our flour. So I've already sifted my flour, so you can do that with a sift, but I'm just going to tap mine in like so. And I'm going to do a little bit at a time. And then we mix it together. And a bit more flour. Oh, see, it's starting to get thick. Now, we just need to add our vanilla extract. So now using a clean spoon and your vanilla extract, we're going to pour 2 teaspoons of vanilla into our mixture. Let's count together. Ready? Let's do the first one. 1. 2. This smells lovely. Ooh. Right, now we just mix this together. And there we have our cake mix. So now we're going to put our mixture into our cases. Now I've changed my cases because I didn't have many of the other ones. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you might get a couple more cupcakes out of this mixture, but my cases are quite big. So now we just need to use 2 spoons and scoop our mixture into our cupcake cases, like so. So now I've put my mixture into my cupcake cases and we're going to put them in the oven. Now we have to make sure we get a grown-up to do this bit because the oven's very hot. So now that our cakes are in the oven, they're going to take between 15 and 20 minutes. So we'll set a timer and I'll see you very soon. So now I've taken my cakes out of the oven, I'm going to leave them on the cooling rack to cool for about 30 minutes until they are cold. So So now is the best part of our cakes. We get to decorate them. Now you could use icing, buttercream, you could use sprinkles, chocolate, you could even colour the icing, and that's what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to show you how I want to decorate my cakes, but I can't wait to see your final creations. So I have my cupcakes here on a cake stand ready to be decorated. I've got my water, I've got my icing sugar, my food colouring, my choice of decorations, and a spoon to make my icing sugar. So let's make our icing. So again, we need clean hands and an apron on so that we don't get our clothes messy. And we're gonna really slowly pour a little bit of water on our icing sugar, a couple drops at a time, until when we mix it together, it becomes runny. A little bit more water. Oh. So now that I've made my icing, I'm going to put my food colouring in. Now, if you find that your icing is too watery, all you have to do is add a little bit more icing sugar and mix together. Let's add our colour. So I've chosen the colour pink to add into my icing. I only need a little bit, and then I can add more if I need it. Now, I like that colour, so I'm going to put that on my cupcakes. So now I'm just going to use a spoon and drizzle the icing on top of my cupcake. And I'm just going to spread it out. There's one. Now that all of my cupcakes have some icing on, I'm going to choose how I want to decorate them. So I'm going to put some chocolate hearts in the middle on some of them. And maybe some white chocolate hearts. One, some sprinkles. Let's take that star off the top and move him. And there are my cupcakes. Now I can't wait to see your amazing cupcakes that you make and how creative you can be with your decorating. Have lots of fun, and I'll see you soon. Bye!